Traffic, right? Crystal is strong, ambitious, highly personable. She's in her 5th and final year here at Rutgers Newark, and she's made it her business to be one of the most visible student leaders on campus. She has been the mainstay of the women's volleyball team since freshman year. She's president of the student group EOF Pride. Listen, I'm just giving you the abbreviated list. She's the communications chair for the National Residence Hall Honorary Society. She's the publicity advisor for the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. She's responsible for reviving the yearbook on campus, which had lain dormant for 2 years before she became its editor. And she did all of this while holding a work-study job for 5 years in the Office of Student Life and Leadership. I believe, looking at her, that she probably may have gotten more than 2 hours of sleep a night, but I'm not sure. But equally or more important, Crystal has already found myriad ways to give back to the community, our community. She participates in charity walks like Relay for Life and Autism Speaks, and she's been volunteering at the Goodwill Rescue Mission and the Veterans Home in Menlo Park. After graduating in May, Crystal wants to pursue a degree at the New Brunswick Theological Seminary and become a minister, thereby bringing her education and organizational skills to bear in helping to heal others. Crystal is one of our best and our brightest. She is what our campus is at its best. So please join me in welcoming Crystal Navarro.
After all that, I don't think there's anything left to say. It's always interesting to see. As many times as I've gotten behind a podium, I'm always nervous, so hopefully it doesn't come through this time. Alumni and donors, faculty and staff, students, family, and friends, good evening and welcome. My name is Crystal Navarro. This spring, I look forward to marching with my classmates on graduation day. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about the opportunities Rutgers Newark has offered me and about seizing the moment, something that has been key to my growth while here. When I was searching for a college back in my senior year of high school, I wanted very badly to have a full college experience. To me, that meant living on campus and taking part in all the opportunities college life could offer. I applied to many schools and was accepted to all of them. In particular, there was one I had my eye on that I was certain was right for me. 2 hours away from home, with an EOS program that offered 2 years of tuition forgiveness. I mean, it was a good school, it was affordable, and best of all, I'd get to live on campus. Or so I thought. I convinced myself that my mom could not possibly, in her right mind, say no to this opportunity. But coming from a strong Hispanic Christian background, my mom was a firm believer that a woman should not live outside her home until she was married. So, I presented this opportunity to her by painting what I thought was a perfect picture of this school. Then she nicely uttered the words that killed me softly in Spanish. Qué bueno, pero no te vas a quedar interna. Translation: Crystal, that is wonderful. You can surely go to this school, but you're not dorming. You can live at home and drive back and forth if you like. I was crushed. I said to myself, now how much sense does that make? The school is 2 hours away from home. Well, one of the other schools I'd gotten into was Rutgers Newark, about 10 minutes away from my house in Passaic. So that night, in tears, I accepted the offer Rutgers Newark gave me. I absolutely did not want the commuter experience, but that's what I got, at least initially. My dream of living on campus would have to wait. I was very, very bitter, to say the least. But I was fortunate to be accepted into the EOF program here, which I look forward to. What I did not look forward to was the 6-week summer program we had to attend beforehand, called the Academic Scholars Institute, affectionately known as the EOF Summer Boot Camp. You see, I had been getting ready for a relaxing summer off. Now, I had to be on campus, going to class, and studying. But there was a silver lining in all of this. We were told there would be an overnight camping retreat during the first weekend of the summer program to help new students break the ice and get acclimated with college life. I relayed this information to my mom, smiling inside the whole time. I explained that if she tried to prohibit me from going, I would be in danger of losing my spot in the program. The overnight trip was away from home, and it was mandatory. There was no way out of it. Here at last was a sign of hope. So reluctantly, my mom packed me up and sent me away. I was so excited, even if it was for just one weekend. Well, the EOF folks knew exactly what they were doing by facilitating a camping trip to help students and staff bond. The staff were to become like real family to me. We got to know each other and had a lot of fun. And as we went through the summer program together, the nervousness I felt at starting college and my reluctance to being at Rutgers Newark began to fade. Soon, I started thinking about the beginning of volleyball season. We'd start practices in September. Even though I was very nervous, I was excited at the same time. I continued to find my path during freshman year. In addition to playing volleyball, I became vice president of the student group EOF Pride and the editor-in-chief of the yearbook. Here, I was acclimating and happy to be a student at Rutgers Newark. However, the housing situation still bothered me, so much so that in the spring semester of my freshman year, I applied to housing without telling my mom, and I actually got accepted. But I couldn't go through with it. I kept thinking to myself, dear God, I'm just not a rebellious kid. Eventually, I shared my situation with my EOF counselors, explained how I just didn't want to be a part of campus life, but I wanted to actually live on campus. I knew I needed to be here. I needed to grow and discover myself on my own, independent from mom. I needed to seize this moment. That dream became a reality when I received a housing scholarship during my sophomore year. Later, I discovered that it was my EOF family that made it all possible through the generosity of donors such as yourself. And I thought, it took some convincing and long conversations in Spanish with my mom, and she eventually went along with it. And I've been living on campus ever since. As I hoped, coming to Rutgers Newark and then living on campus opened up a world for me and proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this school and this campus offers such a vibrant student community and so many wonderful opportunities, both academic and extracurricular, regardless if you commute or live off campus, as many of our students do. By being a student here, I've been able to play collegiate volleyball for the Scarlet Raiders for 4 consecutive seasons, be editor of the Rutgers Yearbook for 3 years, serve as vice president of the student group, EOF Pride, for 2 years, serve as a communications chair for a housing organization called the National Residence Hall Honorary, be publicity team coordinator for InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, and be a proud charter member of the newest addition to the Greek life here on campus, a chapter of Alpha Nu Omega Incorporated, a Christian fraternity and sorority. And I've done all this while holding a work-study and student assistant job in the Office of Student Life and Leadership since arriving at Rutgers Newark during the fall of 2007. Truth be told, I, as well as other students, would not be able to do all of these things if it were not for the generosity of donors like you. Because it is your support that makes Rutgers Newark everything but a commuter experience. While here, I've been fortunate to receive many awards and scholarships funded by you, including the Dean Inga Gamby Memorial Scholarship, the Marvin David Miller Scholarship, the Newark College of Arts and Sciences Student Council Scholarship, and the Isabel Santos Boys Scholarship. I've also received several awards sponsored by the Office of Student Life and Leadership. Very few people know this, but when I was a child, my father was involved in an almost fatal accident. As a result, he was forced into early retirement and began receiving Social Security since I was 10 years old. My mom is self-employed, and without all of these scholarships, I probably would not be here before you speaking today. As I look back on my time at Rutgers, it's clear that it is the place where I grew into myself and developed leadership skills and truly understood who God was and developed an intimate relationship with Him. My goal after graduating is to study in seminary and use the gifts God has given me to minister to others. I believe my community service and campus leadership roles, both in secular and Christian organizations, will serve me well in this capacity. To my fellow students who are graduating, a new journey begins here. Get ready to venture forward. Seize every moment and opportunity that is presented to you, for every second molds the person you are to become. Take my story and allow it to serve as motivation. To all alumni, donors, friends, thank you for everything that you do and have done and continue to do. On behalf of all students in arts and sciences, we are truly grateful for your support. I thank you for this opportunity to speak and look forward to sitting where you are in the future supporting the next generation of Rutgers students. And finally, I would like to thank God, because without him, none of this would be possible. Thank you.